Hello and welcome to the RadioTimes.com Soap Awards prediction series. I'm Helen Daly.
And I'm Lewis Knight.
As I'm sure you all know, the vote is now open for the RadioTimes.com Soap Awards, sponsored by Inspired Villages. So you can vote in 6 categories. Today we're going to go into the nominations for Soap Moment of the Year. The nominees are Stephen's Showdown in the Pub, Sixmas, Charity Mac and Chloe's cliffhanger car crash, and Steve realises he's killed Ella. I mean, all of these moments are just incredibly memorable, probably the highlights of the year. Which one stands out to you the most?
I mean, again, they're all such fantastic moments. I think if you were going to have a reel for each soap, I'd probably pick all of those for each of those soaps. They're such fantastic moments. I think just for the sheer amount of conversation that was created by Sixmas, and it had been built up over the best part of a year since we saw that flash forward the previous February. So I think people were anticipating so much and it really met expectations, I think, and then some. That whole sequence was fantastic. Like, what a moment.
If you're going to tease a storyline for 10 months, it's got to be perfect.
Like, it better be fresh. Like, that was fresh.
And it was. You know, they delivered a twist, they delivered drama, comedy as well throughout the episode. That Christmas Day episode was just unforgettable.
Yeah, but then I think that everyone was waiting for that sequence and it really met expectations. So fantastic moment, I think, with the Sixmas. It's
one of those proper sitting on the edge of your seats last 5 minutes of the episode.
And I think it will go down in history, I think, for EastEnders as a classic moment.
And also, you know, for what it's brought to the soap, for all the storyline potential after it.
Yeah, the aftermath has also been something to behold, I think. And again, can't predict it, don't know where it's going to go. It's gone down some very unexpected avenues, which I think viewers love. They don't know what is going to happen next with that story.
And one thing I was absolutely outstanded by, actually, was the Emmerdale stunt week with the car crash over the cliff. I truly have never seen a stunt like that. It was horrifying. I was just holding my breath for the entire time. I think if you're going to think about soap moments, you've got to think about that Emmerdale crash.
I think that love triangle, especially with Mac, Chloe and Charity, had been so long running and people were waiting for a really big climactic moment.
And it was big.
And it was big. And I was not even Team Chloe in that love triangle. But when she was going over the cliff, I was really like, oh my God, for her. Like, what the hell is going to happen next? And I mean, she somehow survived. Credit to her, because I don't know if I would have survived that drop. What a death drop. But again, real heart in your mouth moment.
Yeah, because there's also a baby involved. So you've got that in the back of your mind. You're seeing this outlandish stunt. You're seeing a love triangle. And then in the back of your head, you're thinking, is that baby going to have its parents?
It's the real world consequences of what would happen as a result of that big epic stunt.
So much happened in that one little scene, which was just incredible.
Yeah.
A real standout.
And Emmerdale rightly milked it for all it's worth because it was an epic stunt.
Absolutely. Completely different, a little bit, slower in pace, I guess, was the Stephen showdown. That whole showdown in the pub was very slow and very, dark. And it was like a horror movie. I think it did air around Halloween, didn't it?
It did. It was a very interesting airtime. But yeah, the build up with the kind of blackout rovers, people were being knocked unconscious. Sarah was being caught up in it. It was you just did not know where it was going to go. And I think that, again, befitted the chaos of Stephen's character because he just was always this person that was acting out and you didn't know what he was going to do next. And I think that showdown really kind of helped to demonstrate that level of chaos from him.
I went to a screening for that showdown and it was obviously in a dark cinema and there was jump scares and I thought, this is not a soap, this is a horror movie. Credit to Corrie for doing something completely different with that.
Yeah, proper ghoulish watch, that one. But speaking of ghoulish, obviously Hollyoaks delivered, I think, perhaps its most shocking death in years. And that's saying something because Hollyoaks loves a shock death.
Yeah.
But that character with Ella being killed by Steve was pretty heartbreaking choice. I mean, I think it created a lot of conversation. I don't think there's any denying that the impact that had on social media. I think some were really upset. But again, that's a soap moment. It's creating a lot of drama, a lot of feeling, a lot of opinions. And I don't think there's anything that a soap wants more than to get people talking.
So is that how you are defining a quintessential soap moment?
Oh, I mean, I think even ones where they would be divisive, if they are talked about, that is important, I think. A soap death, I think you want people to be talking about a soap death, whether it's them crying, whether they're angry, whether they're still talking about resurrecting the character years later because they're still bitter.
Absolutely.
Looking at you, EastEnders, Ronnie and Roxy. But there are lots of conversations, and I think Hollyoaks managed that with that shock twist as well.
Absolutely, and good content as well for Kieran. He's such a fantastic performer.
Again, a mainstay of the soap. Soaps love continuity, and Kieran's taken Steve through every journey. I mean, so many storylines, but still yet managing to keep it fresh. And I think he really still brings his A game to
anything with Kieran is you're in safe hands. Right?
Yeah, watching that.
So yeah, I think what we're saying is get voting. The vote is open until the 10th of June. You can head to radiotimes.com/soap awards right now and have your say. I don't know who's going to win. Do you, Liz?
They are moments, so no. Choose your moment wisely.
Good advice.